What's going on, Planet S.O.N family? It's your main man, JD. Thank you for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button for me. This is Drinks with JD.
I would always tell them, hey, you know what? Go back to the old strategy, because if you're not a hustler,
That's right.
and you're just waiting for your check to come in, it's not gonna happen. You know, you got to be out there. You got to, every single day you got to be posting. You got to keep promoting yourself. And be out there and doing shows. And even if you start doing shows for free, like do the marketing. Go out there and do social networking. With other artists.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, feature young artists, upcoming artists, and just do it like that.
That's what I'm talking
I would
about.
tell them just go back to the same formula where I started,
Okay.
because it works and
Right.
it's been working a lot now.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, why the name MTO, and where did the idea come from?
So originally the name MTO started in 1986 here in National City, California, and a little apartment complex called the Plaza Manor Apartments on Plaza Boulevard. My friend Ricardo Lizarraga, which is OG Riggs, is the one that started the name. And we're just youngsters. My oldest brother was part of that crew. It was a tagging crew. Sorry guys. Yeah. So it was a tagging crew back in National City, and that's how it started. And the name originally stands for Mexicans taking over.
Taking over, yes.
And there was a lot of controversy, with
Yes.
because we're raised in a community where there's a lot of blacks, Asians, and all that, right?
Yes.
But we always got along, But it was just kind of controversial, And when I brought the name, I actually asked Rick, hey, you know what? Can I take the name and do it into something positive? And he agreed, and he was like, yeah, I wish you the best. And it was in 2001 when I made MTO a professional and trademark name, where it became a music artist, a name, a group name.
Yes.
And ever since that, it's been a positive name. And I kind of when I brought it to the producers in LA, they're like, I remember he was an American, he was a white man, and he's like, you know what? Let's keep the name Mexicans Taking Over, because it's gonna cause controversy.
Yes.
And it's gonna sell. It's a marketing scheme.
Yes.
Like NWA.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to mention.
Yeah,
Yes,
so I
yes,
was like, you know what? I was kind of like, oh, should we keep it? He's like, yeah, you should keep it.
Yeah.
So we went with it, we ran with it, and it worked.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And little by little, people were like, oh, it's Mexicans taking over, Mexicans taking over. And then I believe that, once I went into my solo career, I kind of wanted to change it into Mexicans Trusted One.
Okay,
So people can kind of, it's still Mexicans taking over.
Yes.
It's always going to be remembered as that. But I think as you get older, you kind of want to change that little marketing thing. And,
Yes.
So yeah. But a lot of people say, hey, what does it stand for? Like a lot of the American people that are like, yeah, what does it stand for? I'm like, Mexicans Trusted One. Oh, okay, cool. I don't want to say Mexicans taking over. They're like, what the heck?
Yeah.
So with everything that happens in this country, I don't want to bring up controversial issues.
No. Times has changed, so
Yeah.
I understand. Now, on the MTO album, Never Seen Us Coming, right? You had a roster of different artists that included OG Spanish Fly, right? Now, was the idea to keep them as the original roster, or was the idea to rotate different artists within MTO?
It was pretty much to feature these artists that first of all, OG Spanish Fly is the one that kind of got me connected in LA. He's like, because I knocked on doors here in San Diego. I knocked on many doors, and nobody wanted to give us an opportunity. So OG Spanish Fly had just stopped working with Low Profile Records, and he ventured off to Los Angeles, and that's when he ventured off to PR Records. And then he's like, you know what, come over here to LA, I'll introduce you to some people. And that's what he did. So we ventured off to Los Angeles, and we're doing the drive, and big shout outs to OG Spanish Fly. He's the one that pretty much gave us the opportunity. So it's because of him that we got in the door, because it's hard in the music business. You know, when you're knocking on doors, nobody wants to help you. You know, it was more to feature the artists that were around us. You know, and give us that extra fan base, because they had a big fan base. You know, OG Spanish Fly was huge back in the years.
Of course.
So I think we use that as a you know, as a fan base.
That's awesome.
To get more fans.
And that's awesome that at least you know how he helped you, you know, how he opened those doors for you, and that's very commendable, and hey, it's amazing because, you know, anybody who's willing to help you out, you know, you can at least appreciate that person. Because I mean, hey, you know, I'm pretty sure you compare that to the doors that weren't open on purpose because people refused to help. So shout out to OG Spanish Live.
Oh yeah, man. Thank you, Chris, man. Appreciate that.
Now, also on that initial album, there's OG Sense One. Right? Can you speak about that name?
Yeah, so you know, like so MTO was a group, and it was considered myself, OG Sense, and that was my tagging crew.
Okay.
You know, that was my tagging crew name, and I was a sensitive guy in high school. Like I said, you know, I used to write poetry. And, you know, so I cut sensitive into half, and I was like, you know, OG Sense. So Sense One. So that was my name as a tagging crew, and it became my name as a group. So, you know, my little brother went by Little Dimples, and then my cousin went by Kaiser, and then my other associate, my other group friend was Jace Brosco. Okay. So we all had our little nicknames. So, you know, like Aztec Tribe. We have Clown. We have Fly. We have Shade, and we had Sendo and all that. Kind of like that, you know. So that was my tagging name, and I just ran with it, you know.
Well, it's awesome how overall it transitioned to the MTO.
That's
pretty awesome.
Yeah, because eventually, you know, like when I went on a single career, on a single path, I had to just keep the name, you know, because I'm the one that started it.
Yes.
So
I mean, hey,
I had to keep it.
Name.
Yeah.
So, no doubt.
And it worked, you know. It worked.
Yeah.
So.
No doubt. Okay, so on your album, Follow Your Dreams, right? You open up the project with the title track, right? And on that song, you have a Japanese artist, right? You feature a Japanese artist, and all throughout the record, there's Japanese artists, you know, singing or rapping. How did that come about?
That came about on a tour we did in Japan.
That's amazing.
Yeah, Thug Ballers is the one that pretty much sponsored DJ Saturo from Japan. He's the one that brought us out to Japan, and we did a tour out there. It was amazing, you know. So we're there. We're negotiating an album deal.
Yes.
And so we recorded, you know, we recorded and we recorded a Latino from Firmeza in Japan, a very well-known Japanese artist.
Yes.
Then Mona, we had Mona, and then MK the Cigar. He just passed away a couple of months ago, so my condolences to MK the Cigar. And then we had DJ Law. He was a great producer, and he's I think on Sexy Lady. Okay. So we incorporated the Japanese culture with the Chicano and Mexican culture.
Yeah, no,
and it was amazing.
Yeah, no, it's pretty dope.
The experience was amazing in Japan.
Yeah, no, the awesome thing right now is to also see, well, online as well, how people could look this up, where like the Chicano culture is also embedded in Japan. So they have the lowriders, they have, that's
the
pretty
tattoos.
Cool. Yeah, everything. Yeah.
And they're like us. They're workaholics, you know? Us Chicanos, us Mexicans, we're hard workers. Yes. We were working 20 hours straight, you know. We're in the studio.
And they're dedicated.
Yeah, oh my God, dedication. And it's just like, you know, one take, you know. It was just amazing.
That's amazing. Okay,
engineers, producers, amazing in Japan.
There you go. There you go. Now, what was the initial emotion when you got invited to tour Japan because of your music?
It was, I can't explain it. Like, you know, because they had been looking for us for many years.
Oh, wow.
I guess there were some people from LA that were asked, hey, can we invite MTO to Japan on the tour? And I guess somehow they just kind of closed us out. They're like, nah, you know, they wanted to shine for themselves.
Oh, wow.
I'm not gonna mention names, but it was like, you know, like how you say it, it's just like, you know, some people won't open the door for you.
That's right.
So I had a website. We had a website, and MTO1.com, and I get a strange email, you know, and it said from Japan. Yeah. And I was like, they want to invite us to Japan? Like, what? Like, where? Like, who are you guys? I thought it was a joke, you know? I thought it was like one of those spam mails.
Of course.
And I replied, And they said, hey, can you mail us out 100 CDs?
Wow.
We'd like to buy them. And I was like, okay. So they paid, and I sent them out. And they're like, we want to invite you guys to Japan. So, and I still thought it was a joke.
Yes.
Like I was like, nah, I think this. It was so surreal, you know.
Yeah.
And when they sent us the application for the visa, oh, I'm not sure.
Yeah, like the visas, passports,
yeah,
and
the
all that stuff,
passport.
yeah.
I was like, oh shoot, I think this is real.
Wow.
And yeah, we're on a flight to Japan.
And you were just so excited.
Oh
You
my
were just
God, it was.
Wait, did you tell your dad or your mom how, like, hey mom, I'm traveling for my music?
It was amazing because
That's
we had
cool.
done the country tour, you know, like
Yes.
New Mexico, Arizona, Denver. We did all
Yes.
the USA, but never, you know, cross country. You know,
Yes.
never another country.
overseas. Yeah,
not
yeah,
overseas.
of
And
course.
it's like, wow, it was an amazing feeling, and
Okay.
I'm so happy and proud of the guys because you know,
Yeah.
it's a team.
Yeah,
It's a part
it's
of
been
the
an
team.
amazing experience.
Oh
right?
man,
Yeah.
it was amazing.
No doubt. Okay, so throughout your music catalog, right? You rap in English and Spanish. I mean, you even have a song called Nuestro Mexico.
Yeah.
You know, why is it important to you to share both sides of your culture?
Especially because I think that's where we're from. That's where, you know, my family's from, and coming from poverty and you know, seeing my parents struggle and the sacrifices of my dad coming into this country not knowing English,
Yes.
you know, and working for minimum wage and all his life worked for minimum wage because he didn't have the doble lenguaje, the you know, the bilingual.
Of course.
So I think it's very important to always, you know, represent my country of Mexico, you know, being a Mexican American, you know.
Yes.
And just, you know, because there's a lot of struggle out there. There's a lot of people in poverty over there, and I just want to make sure that I don't forget where I come from, you know.
That's right.
So I think it's very important to keep Mexico and USA, you know, kind of incorporated together, and you know, because the food is amazing.
Of
You know,
course.
you can't beat the Mexican food.
Right,
You know?
you can't. All right, so also throughout your music, right, you mentioned, and even in this interview, you know, you continuously mention your family, right? And for your father, may he rest in peace, why was it important for you to make a song for him specifically?
You're talking about Dear Dad, huh?
Yes.
So I think it was hard. It was hard, you know, losing a parent, losing a child, losing a loved one.
Yes.
Never gets easy.
Yes.
You know, the pain never goes away, and I think it's something that, you know, you just learn to live with. You know, the pain is never gonna go away. And I had a stage where like I had writer's block. I couldn't write no more. And that song, Dear Dad, that features my cousin Dulce Navarro. I was like, I need to write a song. I need to just put my mind in a song and just start writing again, composing, going back to the old formula. And I think and I did it. It was like, it was so hard to do. Like I was like, man, how am I gonna write another song? Like I hadn't written in so long, and I'm like, you know what? I just really concentrated, and I think it came out amazing. You know, so
It was.
yeah.
It was. Yeah, it's very heartfelt, and overall, you know, throughout your music, you could tell that you put your heart throughout just the entire process. So,
Yeah.
may your dad rest in peace.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so you released a lot of music, right, throughout the years, right? Where does that love and fire come from to create music?
I think it comes like from experience, you know, just like I said, writing poetry and just what you've been going through. A lot of people go through heartbreaks. I'm pretty sure a lot of people go through heartbreaks. And a lot of people go through the struggles of the streets,
Yes.
through, you know, a lot of people maybe struggling with drug addiction, stuff like that, or just, you know, so I just get that inspiration to tell it how it is, you know, and pretty much, you know, like we've all been through, I don't know, like breakups and stuff like that. I think our formula has always been the love ballads, you know.
Yes.
It's always worked for us, so I think we've always chosen to do the love ballads over like the kind of hardcore
Yes.
Chicano rap. But I have a little bit of everything. I think on all the catalog.
Yes. Now, no, for sure, for sure. I love your entire catalog because it shows how diverse you are. From being bilingual to also, like you were mentioning, you got the hard stuff, and also, you got
love.
the love song. So, like I said, throughout the catalog, you have many love songs.
Oh,
Now,
yeah.
why is it important to you to make songs for the ladies?